Welcome back to the Prime Life Project channel. I'm your host, Daniel James, and as always, if you're new here, welcome. Today, I want to talk about the ugly side of self-improvement. If you're here listening to this, then self-improvement is clearly something that you value. However, there is a flip side. There is an ugly side to self-improvement that I feel needs to be spoken about more. Because if you don't engage this ugly side, you can feel stuck, you can feel lost, and you can feel less than, which is the exact opposite of what you wanted to get out of self-improvement. So let's dive straight into this today, the ugly side of self-improvement. Now, the first key point I want to talk about here with this ugly side is the pain of growth. The whole thing about self-improvement is you're trying to become a better version of yourself. It's kind of in the name, improvement. In order to improve, you clearly need to grow. But there is a cost associated with that, which we don't often talk about, which then means when we come up to this cost, we kind of feel stuck and almost like, am I doing this wrong? You're not doing it wrong at all. There is a price to improvement, and that is the pain of growth. Because our self-improvement often requires us to move outside of our comfort zones to try new things. And your comfort zone has been created for a reason. Your comfort zone has kept you safe. And yes, it makes perfect sense when you read this. Well, yeah, of course, like self-improvement, of course you want to step out of your comfort zone. That's the whole point. Yes, it is. But no one ever talks about the pain of actually doing that. Your comfort zone is there to keep you safe. So now you're stepping out of that safety. That can be quite painful. And if you're not aware of that ahead of time, it can trip you up. And this can be incredibly uncomfortable and even painful in the short term. Only in the short term. This pain of growth is short-lived. When it comes to business, when it comes to pretty much anything in life, one thing that I got taught quite early on is that things that are easy in the moment are often worse for you long-term, and things that are painful in the moment or the short term often work out a lot easier and better for you in the long run. And it's the same with self-improvement, personal development. That in the moment, at the start of the journey, it can be very, very painful, especially when you're holding that mirror up to yourself. Because as you go on this journey, you'll realize one of the first key fundamental points is taking responsibility. It's you taking responsibility for where you're at right now, which then means you can't blame other people. And that, in and of itself, can be painful. But that acknowledgement of that gives such growth. Because now you're starting to take back control. You're starting to gain awareness of where you're at, and once you've got that, you can then be propelled forwards. But just the awareness. It's the first thing there, pain of growth. Second key point is setting unrealistic expectations. Hey guys, if you're enjoying this video, please smash that thumbs up button. It helps with YouTube algorithm to get the video out there to help more people that may need to hear this message. If you don't want to miss any future episodes, hit that subscription button. And now back to the episode. When you're starting out on this self-improvement journey, we can set such unrealistic expectations and we can have this all or nothing mindset. We need to drop that. We need to drop this all or nothing mindset and focus on progress and process over perfection. What do I mean by progress and process? It's not about perfection. You are never going to be perfect. There is no way to be perfect on this journey. The word here is self-improvement. It's self. It's the journey of yourself. There's no such thing as perfection when you're trying to discover and uncover things. When it comes to archaeology, they're just digging. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to dig and see what's there. Unroot some stuff. Unpick some stuff. Gain awareness. There's no perfect way to do this. Your journey is different to my journey. It's different to the next person's. Every single person's journey is different. So there's no such thing as perfection. Whatever journey you are on, by default, is perfection. But we need to understand it's progress. That's what you want to be focusing on. Am I making progress each day to become this newer version of myself? To figure out my patterns, my habits, to work on my self-image, to be kinder to myself? Because that's more important than, it's got to be perfect, it's got to be perfect. This book said I had to do it in these steps, and I've not done it. Right, cool, let's go back to my comfort zone. Which is why I spoke about growth first. Because when you're stepping out of that comfort zone and you hit what I call the terror barrier, where you start to get a bit scared and there's a lot of conflicting ideas, and we feel like we're not doing it perfectly, it's easy to retreat back to that comfort zone. You have to push through that. And that's why it's just not setting those unrealistic expectations, because you then feel like you failed. And you can't fail on this journey. And process. That's what we want to focus on. Process. Do you have a process in place? Do you have time to read, reflect? Are you journaling? Are you meditating? Is there something that you're doing on your self-improvement journey to actually keep you grounded, to keep you moving forward? Or are you just winging it each day? Because what you want to focus on is these little things each day, the process. Are you trusting in the process? Because there is a process. And we talk about, oh, I've got to trust the process. What does that mean? It just means just showing up. Just showing up and understanding that there's cause and effect. You want the effect, which is this improved life, whatever it is for you, whatever that means for you. It's completely personal. Don't let anyone ever tell you, by the way, in the self-improvement journey that this is what you should be doing, because that's not what this is. I never tell any of my clients what they should be looking to move towards. That's I just give them the key. They unlock it and they walk the path. I'm not telling them what the path is. I'm just there to hold their hand. It's their path. It's their journey. It's your path. It's your journey. But understand, there's got to be certain things we've got to do. And you trust the process, meaning you're doing things every single day. Just take that step forward and understand with cause and effect, the cause, you taking the steps every day, will give you the effect you want, the outcome. That's what I mean by trusting the process. That the actions I'm taking right now, the seeds that I'm sowing right now, will give me the harvest later on. Trust the process. And also with unrealistic expectations, we can't willpower ourselves to improvement. With unrealistic expectations, we think, I'm just going to try really, really hard and use all this willpower. Now, the willpower is a conscious thing. We have to consciously willpower ourselves. Try harder, try harder. And how many times have you tried harder at something in the past, only for it to be short-lived, you run out of steam, and then you quit? Because willpower is a finite thing. Like, it's an expendable thing. It's like a battery. It gets drained. You can't rely on willpower when it comes to self-improvement. You have to work on the subconscious programming. Your conscious, which is where your thinking is, this willpower, that's only responsible to 2 to 4% of the results you get in your life. 96 to 98% of the results that you get in your life are down to your subconscious programs. That's your habits. That is your paradigms, your habits, your self-image, habits, routines. All of these things, they are responsible for the results you get in your life. So you can't willpower yourself to self-improvement. It won't work. Willpower will get you going, but you've got to unpick these things. You've got to really work on these habits. You've got to really work on self-image. You've got to work on the programs that have kept you stuck. Because if you don't, you cannot outwork those paradigms, the programs. And this potentially is why you're getting stuck on this journey. People talk about this amazing stuff and not realizing that you've got to do this quote-unquote deep work. You go, oh, deep work. This is the deep work. The deep work is basically uprooting all of the stuff that's there in your subconscious that's keeping you hostage, that's keeping you stuck. That's the hard stuff that no one talks about. And nothing happens overnight. If you've been living a certain way for 20 years, what makes you think that you can undo that kind of programming in 6 months? You can be well on your way to becoming aware and unpicking some stuff. This is not a 12-week thing. If you're going on a 12-week course that's going to help you change your life, I'm telling you now, it won't. It can give you the tools and it can really get you going. But if that's 20 years of programming and conditioning, what makes you think you can undo that in 12 weeks, in 6 months? It's just completely unrealistic when you look at it like that. It takes time. And just like when you pull a weed up from the ground, it will still stay alive without that energy source, without that negative environment. So you can do all the right stuff, but understand there is a lag between you improving yourself and improving your thoughts, the quality of your thoughts, improving your self-image, and you actually seeing that reflected in the outside world. And understand that there's still going to be that energy from that old habits, the old self-image, and it will rear its ugly head. Which is why on this journey, you need things to ground you. You need these habits so that when that old version of you does rear its ugly head, you know what to do. You understand that is part of the process. But you cannot do anything overnight. These old patterns die hard. And finally, the key point here about this negative side of self-improvement is comparing yourself to others. Stop comparing yourself like you're behind the scenes, because you see all the messy stuff. You see everything. You see all the behind the scenes of your life and your journey, and then you are comparing it to other people's highlight reels. Stop doing it. It's not healthy and it's not helping you at all. If you need to take a little hiatus from social media, do it. It's probably one of the best things that you can do. And on top of that, see comparison as positive. What do I mean by that? Because you've heard the old saying, comparison is a thief of joy. Yes, only if you let it be the thief of joy. If you see people that are further along the journey than you, and you compare yourself to them in a positive way, saying, wow, that's possible. Amazing. Let me see what kind of stuff they're doing, because maybe I'm missing something. I noticed that they're journaling. Are they journaling slightly different to me? Oh, wow, that prompt's really helped me. Fantastic. Oh, are they journaling with, are they meditating with music? Are they doing it free? Compare yourself to other people in a constructive manner. Learn from them. Get their habits, get their routines. Look at how they behave. Look at some of their beliefs and borrow that. See comparison as positive, not as a thing of negativity. And focus on being better than your past self, not on being better than other people. This journey is about you. Self-improvement. It's in the name. Self-improvement. Improvement of yourself, not improvement of other people. This is not a competition. Stay in your lane. And as you're moving forward, help those around you. Because that saying, a rising tide raises all ships. Keep going. Stay in your lane. Focus on yourself. And don't forget to reflect and see how far you have come from that old version of yourself. Be patient with yourself. This journey is not easy. Self-improvement can be hard, especially when you're pointing that mirror back at yourself. But I promise you, once you unpick some of these things that have been keeping you stuck in your life, it is the most freeing, liberating thing that you will ever do. If you've taken any value from today's episode and think that someone else could benefit from it, don't forget to like the episode and share it with a friend. Until next time, take it easy.